panel was quite successful in demonstrating that offshore centres have a viable function in today's world, and especially against the backdrop of global transparency and reporting requirements, you see offshore centres taking a very responsible approach to reporting and complying with these international requirements. And not only that, but at least insofar as Gibraltar is concerned, we think we need to go one step further. And that is not just simply complying and ticking a box and advising our clients that we do that, but actually being very responsible about the way we do it in terms of advising clients not to be very aggressive with their tax planning. So it actually goes a step further in terms of explaining to a client that in the global environment that we live in today, they need to be very responsible, because it reflects not only on the client and the client's ability to be resilient against any tax challenge, but it's also good for the offshore centre to maintain its reputation and credibility. And I think today's panel, coming back to your question, has been successful in I think, explaining that offshore centres do take this responsible approach. I think reputation, good regulation, and credibility, perhaps also speed of response. And within these four umbrellas, you have issues such as the finance centre being able to provide good professional services, being responsive, providing an element of trust to the client, so that a client comes to the jurisdiction and is comfortable in the whole in what they see: good infrastructure, good rule of law, good regulation, responsible regulation. Because being over-regulated means that a client will find it very difficult to function in that jurisdiction. So you need to have a very well-rounded jurisdiction. And I think the way I see offshore centres going is each centre having one or two particular niche areas where the global Indian investor might look to say, for example, I want to come to Gibraltar because Gibraltar is at the forefront of going digital, in the sense that we are already the world's premier jurisdiction for gambling, online gambling and online gaming, and now cryptocurrency. And being a small jurisdiction where you're dealing with intellectual property and the creation and development of software, you don't necessarily need a large office premises. You can have Indians, and in fact India has a visa waiver program for Indians. Gibraltar has a visa waiver program for Indians. So Indian nationals can come very quickly and easily into Gibraltar, set up an office, start developing that intellectual property, code programming in relatively small office premises. But you maintain that and create that intellectual property in a low tax jurisdiction. And it works all around, and that's where we're really seeing growth in terms of Gibraltar. You have other offshore centres which are specialists in different areas. For example, the Cayman Islands are specialists in funds. You have Malta, which offers residency programs, so people can come and try and get a passport, although that may be subject to some challenge. And then you have all the offshore jurisdictions which are specialists, I think, in fiduciary services, but some may try and stand out amongst others. For example, if an Indian wealthy client is looking to establish a family office outside of India, then they will look for jurisdiction which probably has a nice climate, apart from all the other things I've mentioned: a nice climate, an airport which they can fly into, a nice marina where they can have their yachts or super yachts. And then lifestyle choices as well are very important for Indian high net worth individuals who are very global in their outlook. So we find people coming to Gibraltar because they like the Spanish lifestyle, they like the southern coast of Spain, they like going to Portugal. Absolutely, and it's ease of access to that whole region, that whole geographic region. But of course they're structuring their family office in Gibraltar, and that allows them to come meet the people in their family offices, their advisors, their CEOs who are managing their assets and their international wealth. And then as families and individuals, they're able to enjoy that lifestyle which that jurisdiction affords them.